Let's try and stay below the 3-hour mark. What do we say?
We'll give it our best.
Did you say below?
I did.
Fuck.
You're welcome.
Are you gonna run with it, or like did you just
Nope. That's it.
Fuck it.
Just
All
below.
right, fuck it. Beartooth has put out their newest album entitled Below.
No more carrying the weight of that inside. Realigning till I find a way to dominate.
Now this is confidently in my top 10 albums of the year.
Are you kidding me?
There's no way you like this more than Loveless.
I do.
I'm gonna. You know what? After I'm done beating the shit out of Solence, I'm coming for you next.
What can I say?
But who will edit the Hivemind recap?
Oh, shit, that's right. We have to do work if he's gone.
I just enjoy the Beartooth sound. It's repetitive. I don't care. I enjoy it. Disease was in my top 5 albums of 2019, albeit I listened to maybe 12 albums that year because I was just getting into this scene. But I enjoy everything I heard off of this album. It's repetitive at times. There are some moments I don't like, but there are enough moments that I do like, and it also contains one of my top 3 favorite songs of the year in The Past Is Dead. I would be surprised if it doesn't make my top 10 songs of the year come December at this point, given how much it's been in constant rotation for months now. And then otherwise, it's just solid across the board for me. I know you guys have your complaints with it, but for me, it's just pretty much, it's just about everything that I could have wanted out of a Beartooth album. Like, Below isn't my favorite opener, but it's grown on me as time goes. Devastation, I still really enjoy. Fed Up, I still really enjoy. I think the only other single I haven't mentioned yet, Hell of It, is the weakest song on this album by quite a while. It's just, if there's any weak point, it's that one. It just has a very underwhelming chorus, and the trash cans in the breakdown don't redeem it for me.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think the other non-singles that we haven't talked about yet that I really enjoyed, Phantom Pain, Skin, and I Won't Give It Up are probably the ones I've gone back to the most. Phantom Pain, I feel like, has a bit of a twist at the end where it kind of just goes heavy for an extra minute because Caleb Shomo said so.
Yep.
And I'm very conflicted on what I feel about it because it makes the song stand out. At the time, I don't like that extra minute of heaviness, and I would have preferred this song end about 50 seconds earlier. But at the same time, would it be too repetitive if it was not the extra 50 seconds? I don't know. It's very, like, pick your poison almost, but, like, it's not a poison because I'll enjoy it either way. When I first heard the guitar on Phantom Pain and the little hand clap, you give me a hand clap and I am all ears, by the way. Like, hand claps on a song, and I'm convinced immediately, basically. Which is why Phantom Pain, like, immediately stood out to me. And then, the more I've gone back and explored some of the other songs that I wasn't as high on initially, I think No Return has really grown on me. It has a really funky riff that I really enjoy. Dominate is really heavy and has grown on me for similar reasons to No Return. And I've saved it for last, but the last riff, that could have been one of my favorite songs of the year if it had vocals.
A travesty.
But I think that even as an instrumental, it is really goddamn good. And it takes a lot to get me to enjoy a raw instrumental at this point. But the last riff does it. There's so much depth and atmosphere to that song. And it feels like you could just end the song on, or you could just end the album on The Answer, and, you know, it's a solid closer, it's fine. The last riff, even though it's like a heavier riff, guitar-driven song, it feels like it gives you a moment to breathe and take in everything that you just heard. And I want to compare it to While She Sleeps, because they ended that album with kind of just like a dialogue almost. And I think it was a neat idea, and it gave me time to, like, think about everything I had just heard, but I didn't really love it as a song. The last riff is a closer, unlike anything else on the album, that actually gives you a chance to appreciate the song while you're still enjoying what you're hearing. It doesn't feel like, when I heard that While She Sleeps album, it was like I was just waiting for it to end almost, whereas the last riff, I'm engaged in what I'm hearing, while still taking in everything that I had just heard. I don't know what more I can say. Evidently, I really enjoyed this album.
All right. I gotta get the one positive I have about this album.
Hit me with it.
It is breakdowns.
Yep.
That is the only good thing I can find in this album. And other than that, it is more of the same. Feels like the last album over again.
And, well, it kind of is the last album over again, hence why it's currently in my top 5 albums of the year.
Jake mentioned that the last riff was a good time to reflect on what you had heard.
Okay.
And what you heard was Caleb Shomo delivering shitty metaphors about depression for 11 tracks and the 8th year in a row on an album that sounds the same as the other 3, with the same formula in every song. It's not bad. I'm going to put that out there. I listened to it again, and then I listened to it again, and it grew on me. From like a 3 out of 10 to like a 5 out of 10. Man, at this point, you either like Beartooth or you don't. You may get a couple individual songs here and there from every album. That's what I do. Overall, Beartooth, I'm not sold. And I figured out why it is. I listened to the album with my like god tier headphones that my friend gave me. And
Not sponsored.
yeah, of course. Shout out to Mason. The bass, for the most part, is just like non-existent. It's like the low end of the instruments, like in terms of drums and bass, for the most part, feel like on most of the album they just have no impact. Like it's very vocal and guitar centric, and it's like what I'm listening to feels very surface level at times. Like not even just in the lyricism, that's a whole different issue, but like the instrumentation, I'm getting a lot of guitars, a lot of vocals, which is great because, you know, the guitars are really well done. There's great riffs, great breakdowns, but it feels like there's some life missing to a lot of the songs, and they lack that full volume, not in like terms of like level of sound, but the fullness of the sound I feel like is lacking at times. And I just, the mixing, I can't get behind it. With that said, I think that it's very impressive that Caleb Shomo does literally all of the instrumentation by himself. The fact that we got blast beats on a Beartooth song is nuts. I did not expect that at all. I think The Past is Dead is still my favorite song on here,
Yep.
but other highlights for me are Phantom Pain and Skin, which I enjoyed despite the rest of the album feeling a little lackluster to me.
So outside of the fact that you really don't like this album very much, we have like pretty much the same favorite songs.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like it for the reasons I mentioned. I don't think that it's like an objectively bad album, but like again, if Beartooth puts out 4 of the relatively same album at this point, you either like the Beartooth sound or you don't, and I don't. I'm on the hot milk hype train. I'm not on the Beartooth hype train, and I'm waiting for them to sell me. But 4 albums deep, I'm not sure if it'll happen.
I think that's totally fair. I think what you said about you either like Beartooth or you don't is really true. I think that's a really, like, evidently I'm just one of those people that likes Beartooth. I'm not gonna try.
You are not alone.
I'm not gonna try and run away from that statement. I just really like Beartooth. It's not for everyone, and that's fine.